Yes, it's something that we associate with New Year's Eve, people firing their guns into the air in celebration. But whatever the reason, whatever the occasion, this neighborhood right here, they're so very concerned about that little boy. They're in shock.
No sé cómo explicarle, pues el niño estaba jugando y le cayó la bala, no sé.
Even in the darkness, you could see the anguish on people's faces as neighbors along the 700 block of East 40th Place learned a small child had been struck by a bullet while watching 4th of July fireworks in his front yard. According to witnesses, 6-year-old Brian Robles collapsed to the ground Tuesday evening. Worried family members called for help. You see Brian here with his big brown eyes. A mom across the street called 911. She said no response. So she and Brian's mom rushed the little boy to the hospital in her car. On the way to the hospital, 911 finally answered.
We put him down on the concrete because he was going in and out of consciousness. And 911, finally, I was able to flag a cop patrol that was going by, and he gave the baby the first aids, and from there the ambulance took him.
People Tuesday night describe a frantic scene. 1 minute, families were eating dinner, kids playing, and then the unthinkable, little Brian struck by a random bullet.
Well, because I know Andres, that's the baby's cousin. They were screaming for Andres, and when they were screaming for Andres, the baby's sister, I guess, screamed that her brother had fallen, and he was bleeding from the head.
At-home fireworks are common in this neighborhood and many others in Southern California. You can hear and see fireworks in the sky Tuesday night, even as officers were securing the crime scene. But neighbors tell Fox 11 gunfire was also common on 4th of July and other holidays.
It's hard to tell sometimes if it's gunshots or fireworks, especially in this neighborhood. It does happen a lot.
Wednesday, neighbors still shaking their heads in disbelief, learning little Brian is listed in critical condition, battling for his life.
I pray for the family, but, people need to stop using them guns, man, on a holiday like this.
The LAPD said they had no suspects. The investigation is active.
Sentí feo porque mi hija jugaba con ese niño.
How far can a bullet fly? I know I wanted to know the answer to that question. I reached out to a career law enforcement, spent decades with the LAPD. He said it depends on the type of weapon. We don't know what type of weapon was the one that shot that bullet that hit the little boy. But I'm told that a handgun, the bullet can fly several yards, but a rifle, it could go up to 2 miles. So you can imagine that the LAPD has their work cut out for them as they try to figure out who was the person that fired this weapon that perhaps caused this little boy severe wound to his head. And we don't even know, what the prognosis will be for him long term. But everybody here in this neighborhood praying for him that he will be able to pull through. Laura Diaz reporting live from South LA. Now back to the studio.